Hey friends, welcome back to the channel if you have been here before, or welcome if it is your first time visiting. I wanted to come on today with a quick reading for you because I was awakened this morning by Spirit with an emphatic message. It was telling me the Karen Reed jurors are restless. They are restless. And I was like, yeah, I guess they probably are at this point. But my guides were like, you need to look into what is going on with them at this moment in time. So I'm going to do that. And while I'm here, I want to quickly talk about how J.P. Miller, Micah Francis's husband, just cannot seem to keep his mouth shut. And yeah, we'll look at that as well. Okay, but first and foremost, we are going to take a look at what is happening with some of those jurors that were involved in deliberating in the Karen Reed case. Because we've been hearing lately that a lot of them are coming forward. They've reached out to Karen Reed's defense team. I'm hearing they are very concerned. They are concerned with the way things panned out. And I'm hearing that we had two fall on the floor just now. I'm going to put these out and I'll keep shuffling. These cards are a bit sticky, guys. I forgot to mention I'm working with the Artist Decoded Tarot deck today. And they sort of tend to want to stick or clump together, but I just take that as a property of this deck. All right, so we had three cards. Let's start there, guys. What's going on with these jury members that have been stepping forward? What's happening within themselves? And we've got Judgment. We have the Queen of Wands, and we have the Five of Cups. So yeah, right out of the gate, I'm feeling this energy of uncertainty, of doubt, of disillusionment coming from certain jury members. So the first card that came out here is card number 20 in the Major Arcana, the Judgment card. And this is absolutely confirming to me that the juror members have had time to think about all of the events and how they played out in that jury room. And they are being critical, self-critical right now. So they're wondering, some of them anyway, are wondering whether or not their actions caused this mistrial, in a sense that, of course, we know that the fact that they couldn't agree on one of the charges was in and of itself the basis for the mistrial, but they are going like beyond that. They are really looking at the directions they received, the confusion that some of these jurors felt, and I'm hearing that that confusion permeated that deliberation. So at this moment in time, the Judgment card is speaking to the fact that some of these jurors are more or less gauging their performance and the actions that happened as a result. And they are not sitting well with it. They aren't. Okay, and now we have the Queen of Wands energy. This Queen of Wands coming up right after the Judgment card. So I'm getting that there was one, at least one, female member of the jury who felt very conflicted. And this individual is, I'm hearing she's taking ownership of something that did not go the way she had hoped. So there's one juror in particular that is feeling more or less, I don't want to say guilty because that's not the right word, but she is feeling this sense of owning that something she may or may not have done could have changed the outcome of the trial. So at this moment in time, this individual, she's sort of like looking at her actions, at what she said in that jury room, and her position. And she's almost thinking about how she wants a do-over. So there's one, at least one, I'm hearing, person of female energy that is like thinking now that if she had it to do over again, she would have done things differently. And this is keeping her up at night. Like, she is not sitting well with the entire outcome. And this could definitely represent one of the jurors that has spoken out and reached out to the defense team, because she is feeling completely on edge. And I think she had a lot to say during the deliberations, because I'm hearing that she assumed a large role in how things were going. Like, I'm hearing that this individual, this female, was potentially one of the more vocal jury members, and she had a lot to say, and she right now is feeling as though she was somewhat influential, and she's almost like wanting to take back something that she said or did, which is very interesting energy. Again, just playing off of this Judgment card of grading one's self. The jury members are grading themselves right now. And I feel as though several, if not more, a handful of them at least, are thinking that they failed. They failed to do their job in the best possible way. Okay, because we've got the Five of Cups here. And this energy is just that depleted, sad, disillusioned energy. Because I am feeling as though these jurors, these jury members, went into this case with the right heart, with the right mindset. Their intentions were true and pure. They wanted to really do right by justice, in the name of justice. But as of this moment in time, they are like, what happened? Where did we go wrong? They are feeling this shift. I'm hearing that some of them are even somewhat brokenhearted about it. Like, they are feeling disengaged from themselves, from their surroundings. They are just not sitting well with how things were left off. So yeah, this total energy here makes sense with the message I received, in that they are restless. They cannot rest right now. So yeah, that is the current vibe of the jury members. I might see if we can get one more pull for this before I move on to JP Miller's energy, because he just can't help himself. He's doing interviews. He is the former husband of Micah Frances Miller, who, as far as I'm concerned, he was responsible for ending her life. And he's just full of himself these days, guys. Okay, we had two cards that stuck out that I wanted to grab. So we've got the Six of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords. Wow, guys. Wow. Crazy. Let me zoom in a bit for you so you can get a better look. So the Six of Pentacles is talking to me about potentially 6 jury members being very split right now, sort of right down the center, I'm hearing. And the Six of Pentacles generally talks about this give and take, you know, more or less giving out and receiving and winding up where you started from. So there's no gain, there's no loss here. So this is really just speaking and confirming that there was nothing resolved in their minds. It was as if things were like an even exchange for them, and that is not where they had hoped to net out. They didn't want to end up back at square one, which is the feeling that they have with many of them. Maybe 6 of them are having that feeling right now. And this perhaps is the most telling card to me. The Seven of Swords, indicating deception. And the jury members, some of the jury members, not all, some of those jurors are feeling as though they have been deceived, or they had been deceived. And they are looking back now at the information they were given to go through, to work through, to consider when making their decision. And some of those people, some of those jury members are definitely feeling as though things weren't on the up and up, is what I'm hearing. And this feeling of having been deceived or misled is also adding to that sense of restlessness. So that is very interesting to me, guys. Very interesting. Okay, so we know that there is going to be more to come of this case next week. They will be back in court. Lots of little minutia has been happening. From what I've been understanding, that Judge Beverly might not be on the bench, and there could be some new lawyer action happening. I don't know, but we're going to continue to follow what's happening with this case as it is ongoing. All right, so that was intriguing to me. Very intriguing energy around the jurors right now, because they at this point definitely do not feel as though their civic duty was completed in the best possible way. And it is bothering them. It is bothering a good portion of them. Friends, if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to this channel. Give this video a thumbs up and make sure you have that notification bell clicked and set to all so you don't miss anything that is coming up ahead on the channel. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. So, speaking about being bothered, I want to take a quick peek right now at J.P. Miller and why it is that he feels the need to go on to various sites or various broadcasts and talk about what a phenomenal husband he was, and to continue to make or try to make himself look like something he definitely was not, in my opinion. All right, so these cards are sort of being sticky. We're going to pull from the bottom is what I'm hearing. So let's turn this over and see what we have here. So the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, yep, this makes sense. So the Knight of Pentacles. So this is the call to action with respect to power, position, prestige, and money. So right now I'm hearing that John Paul Miller is answering some sort of call that he is feeling inside of himself. Again, to make things seem one way. He wants to look like this knight in shining armor. He wants people to believe that he was the one who was attempting to save his wife from her own fate. And he so badly wants to push this narrative that he cannot seem to move beyond this. He just wants to get this out there. He wants to project himself to be that knight in shining armor. And he is doing this not only to improve what he believes to be his self-image, but also to nail down his false narrative, is what I'm hearing. And then we have the Page of Pentacles. Again, we're in the Pentacles here, guys. The first three cards at the bottom of the deck are all Pentacles. And then it shifts into Cup energy, Wands energy. But this, to me, these are the three that want to be read for John Paul, because the Page of Pentacles is the messenger. So this just confirms that John Paul has felt compelled. He has a message he needs to deliver right now, and he feels himself standing upon these cliffs looking down at this water. He's got this message on his back. So what I'm hearing is that he wants to look down at his congregation, at the public at large, at the protesters, because he keeps talking about the Micah protesters. And he wants to stand above, he wants to rise above their suspicions and their doubts. And that is why he has been so compelled to keep spouting off at the mouth about how wonderful, how perfect of a man he was to his former wife. And then the Ace of Pentacles here with this, it looks like a female energy behind it, but this giant pentacle looming. So I would not be surprised if J.P. Miller has another trick up his sleeve, some other narrative that he's going to start talking about with respect to what was going on with Micah. He is basically concocting this right now as we speak. So I'm hearing we can only expect to hear more of his tall tales. So if you haven't, as of yet, grown weary of J.P. Miller and his antics, you soon will be, because he just has no intention of stopping. And I've been told pull one from the top of the deck, and I'll do that and conclude this reading. We have the Two of Cups talking about JP potentially teaming up with someone else in these efforts. Right now he is trying to woo, is the word I'm hearing. He's trying to woo another individual into teaming up with him to help repair his tarnished reputation. He will not admit to the fact that his reputation is tarnished. He still thinks he's coming out smelling like a rose in this whole thing. I don't know why he thinks that. I don't know how he could possibly think that, but that is what he's thinking. But he is looking for a partner in crime, is what I'm hearing. And he's pulling out all the stops to do it, because we've got the Two of Cups here, you know, almost like this romantic gesture. But he's looking to get someone to back him up and to sit with him and do these interviews and to basically swear to whatever it is John Paul Miller is lying about. So he wants to lie and he wants someone else to swear to it. That's what I'm hearing. So that is where it's at with JP. All right, my friends, I want to thank you so much for spending some of your time with me yet again, and I hope that you will stay tuned for more up ahead on the channel.